Some brands feel powerful. The moment you see them, something about them feels different. Their presence feels confident, clear, and established. Even before you understand what they sell, your brain registers them as important. Others feel invisible. Some brands appear in front of us and disappear just as quickly. They may have good products, good ideas, and good intentions, but something about them fails to capture authority. Without strong signals, the brain treats them as background noise. The difference isn't luck. Powerful brands are not created by accident. They are the result of deliberate design choices that influence perception. Every visual, message, and structure contributes to how the audience interprets the brand. It's psychology. Human perception is shaped by psychological shortcuts. The brain constantly scans the environment, looking for signals of leadership, safety, and credibility. Brands that understand these signals naturally appear stronger. Let's break it down. When you understand the mechanisms behind brand authority, you start seeing them everywhere. The strongest brands repeat the same patterns again and again. And over time, those patterns shape perception. Authority is a signal. Authority doesn't come from saying you are the best. It comes from showing signals that the brain interprets as leadership. These signals communicate competence before a single word is explained. The brain notices power. Humans evolved to recognize hierarchy quickly. Our brains automatically scan for who appears confident, structured, and in control. Brands that display these signals stand out immediately. Power attracts attention. When something feels powerful, people naturally pay closer attention. Confidence creates curiosity and draws the audience in. The brain assumes that something powerful must be worth noticing. Structure creates confidence. Strong brands rarely feel chaotic or scattered. Their identity, visuals, and messaging follow a clear structure. That structure gives the impression of stability and control. Confidence feels safe. Safety is one of the strongest psychological triggers in decision-making. When a brand appears confident and organized, the brain interprets it as reliable, and reliability reduces perceived risk. Perception shapes reality. In branding, perception often matters more than technical details. What people believe about a brand shapes how they interact with it. Authority is built first in the mind. The brain seeks leaders. Humans are naturally drawn to leaders. In uncertain environments, we look for signals of guidance and direction. Brands that position themselves as leaders become easier to trust. Leaders feel powerful. Leadership signals create the feeling of strength. The audience begins to associate the brand with confidence and competence. This perception becomes self-reinforcing over time. Clarity signals authority. When a brand communicates clearly, it demonstrates control. Confusion weakens perception, but clarity strengthens it. The clearer the message, the stronger the authority. Consistency signals control. Consistency tells the brain that the brand knows exactly what it is doing. Repeated patterns create recognition and stability. Over time, consistency becomes a symbol of professionalism. Weak signals create doubt. When a brand sends mixed signals, the brain struggles to interpret it. Unclear messaging, inconsistent visuals, or scattered content create uncertainty. And uncertainty weakens authority instantly. Confusion kills authority. When the audience cannot understand what a brand stands for, confidence disappears. People hesitate because they are unsure what they are looking at. Confusion always slows decisions. Doubt stops decisions. When doubt enters the mind, action pauses. The brain becomes cautious and begins searching for alternatives. Brands that fail to remove doubt often lose the decision. Invisible brands struggle. Many brands work extremely hard but still feel invisible in the market. The problem is rarely effort. It is perception. Without strong authority signals, even great ideas can go unnoticed. Chaos weakens trust. A chaotic brand environment sends the message that the brand lacks direction. When content, identity, and messaging feel disconnected, trust becomes fragile. Structure is what creates stability. Define your position. Powerful brands clearly define where they stand in the market. They understand their role and communicate it confidently. Positioning turns a brand from another option into a leader. Own your identity. Identity is what gives a brand personality and presence. When a brand clearly expresses who it is, people begin to recognize it instantly. Identity creates differentiation. Build recognition. Recognition happens when visual and verbal signals repeat consistently over time. The more people encounter the same signals, the stronger the memory becomes. Recognition is the gateway to trust. Project authority. Authority is communicated through design, clarity, and confidence. It is not about being louder than everyone else. It is about appearing more structured and intentional. Lead your market. The brands that lead are the ones that define the conversation. Instead of reacting to trends, they shape expectations. Leadership changes how audiences perceive value. Strong brands lead. Leadership creates momentum. When a brand is perceived as strong, people naturally look to it for direction. Over time, that leadership becomes influence. Leadership builds trust. Trust grows when a brand consistently demonstrates competence and clarity. People trust what appears stable and reliable. And reliable brands attract long-term loyalty. Trust builds growth. Once trust exists, growth becomes easier. Customers return, recommend, and engage more deeply. Trust turns attention into long-term relationships. Stop looking small. If your brand currently feels invisible, the solution is not simply producing more content. The solution is strengthening the signals your brand sends. Authority begins with how you present yourself. Build a powerful brand. The strongest brands are not just visible, they are remembered and respected. They design their identity, structure their message, and communicate confidence. And that combination makes them impossible to ignore. If you want to grow a brand that people trust, remember, and choose again and again, follow this channel for more insights on marketing psychology and brand strategy. Subscribe if you're serious about building brands that actually influence how people think and decide. Sivra. Make it click, make it run.